Welcome to another episode of Not for the Weak Minded. Now, bit last night and today, I have done the outline so that you can actually see it clearly. This is the globe Earth model represented using the perfect circle. The globe Earth model is truth and lies. We do not live on a spinning ball Earth. When it is created, it is stationary, and this map proves it 100%. This is what the Earth looks like from above. Now, many of you in the Flat Earth Society are using a model that does not, I repeat, does not show the seasons, as you have the sun at the equator going just around and around and around and around, when in reality it oscillates. It goes from 23.5 to 23.5 tropical Cancer and tropical Capricorn, and essentially summer, winter, summer, winter, summer, winter, summer, winter. It oscillates. How this is possible, I believe, has to do with this blueprint here, which I will later on imprint on the top of this, along with many other bits of information to prove that, the Earth does oscillate. The sun oscillates around a stationary Earth from the Capricorn to the tropical Cancer and back again. This is why we can have the sun in the summer being filmed from down here all year round, because it just goes whoop 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 whoop. So that is part of understanding the seasons. Secondly, I'm going to get off the table quickly, turn around. As you can see with this map, although it's the wrong way around, all the detail with under the oceans has not been mapped in. Now that's the next part of the blueprint. The next part of the blueprint is to use a blue pen instead of a black one, and to go around the ridge lines of where the oceans were once was. And essentially, you'll see that there's a ridge line that goes all the way around every coast, and that was the original. That was the original ocean during another time period. However, what we also see in this blueprint is that, what I saw was mass engineering of the entire Earth, and to create levels so that the river systems can flow from north to south, from the center to the outside, essentially. Or was it the other way around? I can't remember. I have to work this out. But I think it's from the north to the south, or the south to the north. But that's part of the plan. I'm going to put the rivers in soon. The Great Lakes, as I've not done that in America, as you can see. I've done a few of the lakes in Europe, Black Sea, etc. Mediterranean. So the next part of this blueprint is to firstly get it copied, and then to colour it in, to finish it off as we see today. That's the first stage, first copy. The next stage is to then, as I said, add in more details of the coastline of how it was before another flood, the mud floods, the Tartar empire, etc. What happened to it? Then is to take it back even further. So there's 3 stages, to show you that the entire Earth itself was engineered, and that there was only seas, lakes and rivers, no oceans. An almighty task to prove that the Earth is created 100%. with intelligent design, that it is based upon the perfect circle, that you cannot fall off the edge of the earth because of Antarctica. And this does include knowledge from ancient maps from a world trading civilization that mapped the earth before we had technologies to do so. I mean, the things that people could do in the past is incredible, comparatively speaking. You know, all the maps are drawn by hand, all the manuscripts are done by hand. I mean, it's just amazing to look back and think, holy moly, they did all of this with just their thoughts and their hands. Didn't use computer algorithms to work it all out. So the question is, where does all this knowledge come from? Where does kingship come from? Kingship came from the heavens. So this is a two-domed construction that had pre-planning. And I need to show you some information about double-domed energies. So there is mechanisms here that are to do with sacred geometry, essentially, and how these technologies are operating, because the sun is a piece of technology, as I've tried to prove, in low Earth orbit. Does this mean we're in a simulation? No. It's close. It feels like a game to me, but in reality, it's a physical creation under the sea of another world. You know, think about Little Mermaid, think about SpongeBob, think about the song Busted. I've been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they live underwater. Do aliens live underwater? Where does the sea peoples really come from? In history, did they come from bases under the water? Are we not destined to live under the water again if things continue? Will we not ourselves create something similar in this world, so there'll be a world within a world within a world? Inception. Deception. Anyway, this is it. I've got much more to do. Many more things to show, to prove that this entire Earth was engineered using intelligent design, machines, technologies, that we ourselves are technology, how we relate to that, artificial, in a way, created intelligence, that everyone in all the elites are trying to emulate. They're trying to emulate everything to do with the technological creation in their own image, while lying to you about creation, about the earth, about how special you are, about your place within it, about your soul, because the paranormal is normal, and that is not incorporated into any mainstream theories, just like the space is water, and therefore all calculations about the cosmological principles are based on a lie. So everything you see is CGI lies based upon centuries of corruption. I speak nothing but the truth to you. I spent 15 years looking at everything possible. I have been down paths and thoughts that many of you need to take. It is not what you think, this reality. In fact, we have never been told the truth for a long, long time. But when we did know the truth, we built a contribution-based society that lasted 1,000 years. This relates, again, to free energy, the Tartar Empire, the fact that these star forts across the earth are, let's say, not forts at all, but actually city-states that were using free energy. They are still around, and they were built by us and the giants. You know, the giant infrastructure across the earth is self-evident, but we are so used to it that we don't even question anything, you know, to do with the past. How these places were built, where does all the red bricks come from across the earth? When were they built? Why is it that in the 1500s you can still see these places standing, and yet they're meant to be built in the 1800s, right? No, something happened between those two times, between 1500s and the 1900s, where we went along and said, "No, that's ours, that's ours, that's ours," even though it belonged to other peoples before. And essentially these Templar Freemasons are pirates. They're nothing but pirates. They go and they take things from people's lands that don't belong to them, particularly ancient culture, and claim it as their own. Anyway, much more to come from me. I've got plenty of things to be doing. Please share, like, and subscribe.